Okay, we're going to start the meeting, agenda for meeting for February 24th, 2021. Please stand for the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. First item, public comment. Seeing none, we'll move on. Discussion and vote to approve the 2020 year-end. Gary D. Pace will present.
Okay, again, I thank you for holding this meeting with Lori with her unexpected death of her father. My heart goes out to her. But these, unfortunately, we have year ends that are due into DHCD by this Friday, so that's why I asked to make sure we have this meeting.
Yeah.
So anyways, looking at the year end, our fiscal year that ended on December 31, the results were very close to what we had anticipated in our budgets. And you have the forms to look at. You can see that we spent within our budgeted constraints. And in fact, the important thing of our year ends is you always hear you talk about our operating reserve and where it impacted and what we had budgeted.
Yeah.
So when we go back to our budget revision, or actually when we did the budget, remember back in November?
Yes.
I always say that here's our estimated operating reserve at year end. Well, at the time we had anticipated it being at 138,211. We actually ended at 133,143, a little bit less than what we had anticipated, primarily because of the solar credits.
Right.
Our solar credits were less, I don't know, maybe we had more cloudy days than what we had anticipated. But still, we're within $5,000 of what we had anticipated. So that was actually good, and there were no expenditures that caused us to be short of it. It was primarily the revenue from the solar credits.
Okay.
That's in our 400 program. In our 689 program, we were anticipating our reserve to be 2,451. We actually ended at 3,776. So that was a little bit of sense of we didn't have as much expenditures for that. So our reserve ended in a positive note.
Right.
On our federal program, we had anticipated our reserves to be at 67,851. We actually closed at 73,070. So about $5,000 more.
But it's still within the,
Everything was
Yes.
within the parameters that we have to stay in. So that was the year end. Any of the forms that you have in front of you, I know that a lot of the reports look like they're just all numbers everywhere, but that's the way it goes. It all boils down to the summary that I just gave you, and that is the operating reserves. So we are in good shape overall with that.
Good.
I didn't see anything else that needs to be highlighted on it. Our mod projects, we didn't do as many state mod projects this year, but I know that Lori does have some of those a lot in the works. There's different fish numbers, and I know each one of those represent a project, and I think she's probably going to be moving ahead on some of those.
right.
Yeah.
There's also the report in here that you're certifying, not only the financial statements that I just showed, but the 5 highest salaries paid. That report looks like this. It's the form it says. And you're certifying that you're signing off on that you've reviewed it. Now, basically on that form, the difference between a budget and that form is a budget is what we think we're going to pay in salaries.
Right.
This is what we've actually paid, and it
Okay.
compares to budget. And all are within the 3% margin.
Good.
On the right-hand side, it shows the 1.9% in all four positions, and one is 2.1 difference. The variance is because of this past year, we actually paid 53 weeks of salary within the year. That happens every 7 years. There's 53 weeks, not 52 weeks. And that's why they give that 3% variance
Right.
as acceptable. And that actually is the reason why ours is different from the budget. It's because we did have 53 weeks in 2020. Okay. Any specific questions? Because I can answer anything from that.
I read every single page of this.
Did
And I
you?
want you to know, I think you did a fantastic job. And I think the people in the office have done a grand job in keeping everything in.
In going within these
going
times,
with
absolutely.
this. And
Yep.
it really is important. And Laurie did a wonderful job too.
Yep.
Because otherwise, it wouldn't be as balanced as it is.
No, exactly. And that's one of the things we do. It's why we watch it every month
Right.
very
And
closely.
And one of the first things I look at is the
Yep.
reserve.
Yep,
Is to make sure if we have an emergency that we can cover it.
yep,
So I was very pleased to see what we do have in a reserve.
yep, yep. It worked out well. I'm trying to think, when we did the budget, had DHCD indicated to us, remember, we talked about a 4% cut? Did we talk about that in our budget time, or had they already passed the supplemental? Because we did not have to take a budget cut in our 21 budget. They restored that 4%, which was originally anticipated to have to take a 4% cut.
Right.
They've restored that,
Oh, good.
so.
Well, we evidently proved that we needed it.
Well, they did it across the state.
Right.
Right. I think it came because of extra funding that the state got from the Federal CARES
Right.
Act. Okay, so the only thing that's required by, obviously, we can't get signatures on anybody who's virtual, but you basically need to have a motion to accept the financials and the year-end reports. And then the signatures also are certification of your state paint, the lead paint law. So there'll be 2 places for each one of you to sign,
Okay.
and one motion basically to accept the financials, and including the year-end report.
Okay.
So moved.
So I need a motion for the year end and what was the other
The
one?
top five compensation form.
Okay.
I just made the motion, Wayne.
Form.
Just need a second.
I need a second.
I'll second.
All in favor?
I second.
Okay, Joyce.
Aye.
Yeah.
Aye.
Are you in favor of approving Annika and Joyce?
Yes, aye. Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, so it's unanimous. Thank you, and thank you
Well, thank you.
for your hard work. And Roberta's right, I think we've seen a great improvement of the way the things have been handled with the budget and the accounts and stuff since you've been here.
Well, thank you.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
upped the scale of what was here before.
Yeah.
And I'll
Yes.
just leave it at that.
Okay, thank
But
you.
you're doing a great job, and we don't want to lose you, that's for sure.
Well, I hope I'm around for a little bit longer.
Yeah.
That's why I said when we get up in the morning and we're on this side, it's
There you
always a
go.
blessing.
Absolutely. Well, thank you very much.
Okay, thank you.
You can leave if you want, Gary.
Okay, I just want to make sure you sign,
Yeah, we will.
and,
You got it? Okay.
okay, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you for the great work you're doing.
Thank you.
It makes a lot of help for us.
And I'll make sure that I work with Betty later to do the actual submissions.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, you got until Friday, right?
Yes, we do.
Okay.
We'll make it. Okay, thank you.
Thank you
Thank
very
you.
much. Hey, your coat, is that your coat?
These are the only,
The only 2 pages, yes. And what they
Yeah,
do
and
is
then
they
both.
check that, sign that, and,
okay.
yep. And then the 3rd page is one that you have that Lori signs,
Yes, I have that.
and that's the one that I signed too.
Yep, I saw that.
Okay.
Thanks, Gary.
Thank you.
Gary,
Oh,
coat?
my coat, yes.
Probably don't need it.
It's actually warm.
It is getting very warm out.
I'll take it. Thanks, Gary.
Thank you, Gary. Okay, moving on. Do you have any members' items?
Joyce or Monica have any items?
No, I don't.
Okay.
No.
I would just like to extend my condolences to Lori and to her mother, the whole family, actually, in the loss of Jim Brennan. He's a wonderful person, and he'll be missed.
Yes, and I'd like to say condolences to her too, and her father was a great guy. He was a veteran. He's been around for a while, and he's a good guy. And I'm sorry to see him go.
Yeah.
And hopefully the family and everybody gets through this and do what they gotta do. It's not an easy thing,
He was
especially when
on
it comes
the
to
police
family.
department for a long time.
Yeah.
That's it. Nobody else?
No.
Okay, public comment, seeing none. Adjournment. I need a motion and a date for our next meeting. Should we wait on Laurie for the next date meeting, or?
We could probably schedule it, and then if it doesn't work, then we can reschedule it.
Okay, so that'd be March 4th?
March
That
what?
would be next,
No,
that would be next week.
I cannot meet on any Tuesday.
right, okay, so we'll change that.
So we had scheduled it for Wednesday. The last one was supposed to be scheduled for
So you want to do Wednesday?
Wednesday. I can't.
Is Wednesday the 5th? No,
No,
No, Friday's the 5th.
I didn't bring my
Wednesday is
calendar
the
with me.
3rd of March.
that's next week.
I know. But do you
That
want
would
to
not
do
be
a
a good week.
pardon me?
So you want to go the following week,
I think the next week, say the 10th,
the 10th?
yeah,
Is that okay with everybody?
that's a
Yeah.
Wednesday.
March 10th,
Yeah.
Wednesday at
10?
10?
10 work for you? Okay, thanks, Monica. How about you, Joyce? 10 work?
Yeah, that's fine. Like I say, yeah.
We can do it remotely or come here.
Yeah,
either
right.
way. So we'll say Wednesday, March 10th at 10 o'clock.
Yes,
Perfect.
thank you. An adjournment. Do I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
I'll-
Aye.
And thank you, and everybody have a good day and stay safe.